Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins. Those little puppy claws you were hearing belong to Chappy. And we are live streaming to you from Studio Mikarts. Our charity of the month is the Vegan Society, so there's a couple ways that you could help me help them. One is just watch my stream and bring your friends because I'll be making a donation at the end of the month based on my unique viewers count. You can also donate directly. We just have a little modest £10 goal, fundraising goal here on Twitch, so you can donate more directly that way. It's Friday, which means it's time for Chibi Friday, and last Chibi Friday we finished our project, so we're going to start something new. It's actually going to be a birthday present for one of my friends. He decided that he wanted me, so last year he had me Chibify his cat. This year, he asked me to Chibify his brother's dog, so we're going to be growing this family of Chibis. First thing, though, I need to prepare my paper. I try to do this off stream if I can, but I ended up doing this last minute work to get my next blog post entry done, and I was so happy because I was able to get it done, but that meant I didn't have that much prep time for my stream. So you can see what I do. This particular pad of paper is like oblong. So I don't know the proper term for it, but it's not a square. And there's just a few sheets left, so look at only 3 sheets left. So hopefully I wouldn't have to deal with this anymore after this. I hope next time I buy a square pad of paper, it will actually be square, but it's an easy fix because this is just 6 by 6, I think, 6 by 6 inches. So all I do is put it in here and trim. And the nice thing is I've done this enough times that I know I just need to do the 2 opposing sides. I don't have to do all 4. I mean, if you want to get technical about it, I don't have to do this at all, but it really does distract me. Not having it be a proper square, my eyes feel like, is that a trick of the light? Like, what? Why does it look funny? Oh, because the page is wrong. So that's the first thing I do. I'm putting my trimmer away and put the last 2 sheets of paper away in my paper storage cabinet. As I said yesterday, my room is a mess, but happily, my main drawing kit is not put away where it goes. It's actually really easy to access. I have this, so let me describe it for you. I have this clear plastic box, and that's where I put my active projects. And the idea is that it's easy to access because it's just out. It's clear. I can see what's in there. But it is now covered with other stuff, so it's actually kind of hard to get into. So it's not able to serve its purpose. But this is still sitting out. Normally this would be stored in that box, but this is sitting out because I never put it away from the last time. So it's a weird fortuitous, like it wouldn't be a problem in the first place if I just gave myself the time to clean up my room. But since I didn't, at least my kit is here. Oh, you know what? I realized I want my little tiny clipboard. Oh, is that in the box? Oh no. It's not in the box. Where is it? Oh, it's still hanging up over here. Okay. I'm a tiny clipboard. Still has my previous project on it because I haven't put my... What I do for my original artwork is I put a stamp on the back and then I write the date it was completed, the media used, and then the stamp includes like my email address and stuff like that. So that's why this is still out and not put safely away. So I'll just hang this up. I have like 4 Chibis that are like that I haven't done. This is original artwork stamp. But now I have my clipboard, so clip this onto it. Alright, getting my workstation set up here. And give me your camera. You can come in closer like that. Yeah, that's probably good. Maybe a little bit further off. Maybe. This is the kind of thing I try to do off stream. But it's tough. It's tough when basically I had a rough night's sleep again, and so I was very slow getting going. It's not exactly sleep in, but I went back to sleep right after my alarm went off. It's like I was awake, but then Aoife came and got on me. My big dog Aoife, she came and got on me. And I was like, oh, let's just take a nap with Aoife on me. So I ended up taking a nap first thing in the morning. And since then, I've had to truncate everything I try to get done in a day, including working on my blog, so. But that's okay. I've got my mug of tea here. Take a nice sip of that. Okay. There's a little bit of paint on here from yesterday's product. There. First thing I need is my sketching pencil. It's my favorite. Hey, this is kind of related. So the reason why I'm doing so much stuff on stream that I try to do beforehand is because I was working on my Japan adventure blog post series for my vacation to Japan last year. And I got this in Japan at the Nintendo store. I think it was in Osaka. And it's, you spin this part. If you spin the bottom part, the shooting stars move across the scene. Alright, this is my favorite sketching pencil ever since I got it. And, okay, now I've got to adjust my secondary monitor here over to my left. That's where I have the reference image of this puppy dog. Name is Kenny. And my friend pointed out when he sent me this image that it's very Chibi-like already. It's right in Kenny's face, and then the body is mostly covered up by the head because of perspective. There's like, you can see the chest and then some legs sticking out in the tail. So this might actually be one of my fastest Chibis ever. We'll see though, because Kenny has lots and lots of spots and stripes. It's sort of like spotted and brindle coat. It's a very interesting combination actually. So it's like the white part of the coat has brown and black spots, but there's big patches of brindle, which is black and tan. Sort of stripy, spotty coloration, and so yeah, that's gonna take a little while. So without further ado, let's get started. So just going to, actually, I already changed my mind because I realized with his legs sticking out to the side, I want to move the head over a little bit. So I'm already gonna erase the first lines I put down. Use my kneaded eraser. If you heard a big sigh just now, that was Aoife. My big dog Aoife, who encouraged me to take a morning nap. It was really easy for her to get on me because I went and slept on the couch because I couldn't sleep in my bed. I couldn't stay asleep. And the couch is not as comfortable, but it was quieter, and so it was really easy for her to just like climb right up and just lay right on top of me. Alright, we can barely see anything of Kenny's body in this reference image. And I'm going to have to use my imagination on this front foot. We've got the very frontmost foot, and then the next, so he's got two front feet, right? There's one that's closer to the viewer in this reference image. one that's farther away but still a front foot, is crossed behind it. And then you can see one back foot. But the front foot that is closest to the viewer is cut off by the photo. So I'll just improvise based on what I'm seeing from these other two visible feet. So this is the chest. You can see his chest a little bit here. And then his arm sticking out. And the paw. I might actually look up, try to see if I can find a reference image of a similar looking dog, just so that I can get the angle of the paw right. Not for the markings so much, just for that angle. Here's the paw that's crossed back behind. And then we just have this back foot. Can't really see the leg that much. It's mostly just the foot and then the toes. And he's laying in a, looks like a big chair or a small couch. And his tail, oh, excuse me, I got a cough. Maybe I need to drink some more tea. I haven't really been talking that much today. This always happens. I don't talk very much all day long. And then it comes time to stream and I'm like talking for 2 hours and my voice box is like, what are you doing? Sometimes it gets so dry. Okay. Hopefully that helps. Anyway, what I was trying to explain is that the tail is resting against the far arm of this chair, and that's making it stick up like this, which is actually great because it makes it look like a happy tail. Whoop, there. All right, the very, very basics. Let's see, I think the toes are actually even farther out for this paw. Okay, the very, very basics of the body are done. Let's put the facial features on. So we just have this big circle for the head. Since it's a chibi, we're going to squish it up a little bit. But we don't want to squish it up too much or it'll look like a different breed of dog. So we've got the muzzle coming out. The nose. And we'll connect that to the big circle for the head. And he's just totally chillaxing on this chair in this photo. It's got a little bit of that little dip where the two sides of the cranium come together. And then he's got the floppy triangle ears. Kind of like my big dog Aoife, only Aoife's missing part of one ear, so one of them is a triangle and the other one is just sort of a thing. It's not a triangle anymore. We don't know how she lost it or anything. It's just that's how she was found. It didn't seem to be, she was found after she was in some sort of accident, a stray. But the ear didn't seem to be from that. It was already like that. But it doesn't bother her or anything, so it's alright. It's just, she has one triangle ear and one just a cut off ear. This guy has both of his ears. Both triangle flops. Triangle flops. I often have to redraw the ears later once I have all of the body parts in place, so I'm already preparing myself for that, because I'll realize that now that I have the eyes and the nose actually drawn out, it looks too high on this side or whatever, so I'm prepared to redraw if necessary. But who knows, maybe I've done enough dogs now that I'll just be happy with it as it is now. I mean, right now it doesn't look bad. This ear is, as I see it, folded into the triangle shape, but there's a little bit of space here between the side of the face and the edge of the ear. This ear is actually sticking up more, so there's a lot more space between the side of the head and the edge of the ear. It's really nice. My friend's mom got his cat that I drew for him last year for his birthday present printed on a pillow. And so now apparently she's looking forward to getting this. I guess it's her dog grandbaby, you know. Her cat grandbaby is on a pillow, and now her dog grandbaby is going to be on a pillow. I'm just adding the nose. This reference image is excellent because even though he has all, like so many dogs, all black nose and black fur all around the sort of leathery nose skin, it's really well lit, so I can see all the details. Sometimes the reference images, especially if the lighting is from behind or something, it's really tough to tell exactly what the shape of the nose is because it's in shadow and it's all black colored, like that's just the natural color of it on top of that. So it can be tough, and I'll have to use my imagination based on experience drawing other dogs. I don't have to do this with Kenny here. He has a nice, well-lit reference photo. Alright, I got his bottom lip in. It's nosy in. Now let's add his eyes. This is the thing that's even more than the big head. The eyes is really going to make it look chibi. I say that and then I start working on something else. I realized I wanted to define the area, this side of the head, a little better before moving on. But now I really am ready. Let's place the eyes. So, big chibi thing. Moving them down and making them huge. So lower on the face than nature dictates. And way bigger. I think I need to... Yes, hold on. I had to check some positions. So what I'm going to do... Oh, Wolf, hello! How are you? Thank you for joining me. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining me on this Friday. Are you looking forward to the weekend? I am. I'm looking forward to this evening, which is the start of my weekend. Oh, good. Excellent. Glad to hear it. Yes, I'm doing well too. Thank you. I'm feeling not all the way better, but much better from whatever has had me... I don't even want to say it was a cold. The symptoms were so minor, but enough to be disruptive. But I'm feeling a lot better from that. Not 100% better. I would say like 98% better. So I'm doing good too. Another sip of my tasty tea. What I'm going to do is use this ruler and see the level between the ears, how that compares to the eyes. What I'm imagining is that the ears, the eyes, and the nose are all on the same level. But I might be wrong. So I'm going to check. So first the top of the ears. I'm holding it up, closing one eye against the reference image, and I'm going to try to pull it down without changing the angle. Alright. So first things I checked. This and this point are level with this and this point. So the top point of the ear and the bottom point of the ear, where they meet the skull, are the same. So now that we've determined that, let's look at the eyes. The eyes aren't quite the same. The lower eye is a tad bit higher up. Okay? And the ears are more mobile. You know, dog ears can move all over the place, so probably using the eyes as a level. But now I'm going to check the level of the nose. So let me see if I even it out on the bottom edge of the eyes and then bring the ruler down to where the nose starts. Okay. I'm going to do one more time looking at the bottom edge of the top lip too. Okay, so the ears I don't have to worry about. Ears are super mobile on a dog's head, so. Oh, Satuita's here too. Hello! Thank you for all your hard work today. Oh, yay, I hope we get some hummingbirds. I've been seeing them up in the tree like I pointed to you. But I haven't seen any up close yet. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, now that I know the eyes, nose, and mouth are all in line, but the ears are slightly different. The ears, so if I use the eyes as a reference first, this ear is closer to the eyes than this ear is. So basically the angle is bigger over here, or the difference is bigger. I don't know how to explain what I'm saying. So I think what I've got here for the eyes is actually closer, and I need to change the muzzle. The muzzle is not lined up well with the eyes. Although maybe the ears are a little... The ears are a little off too. So we've got almost 3 centimeters from top to bottom here. See, I told you. I knew I'd have to... and this one's only 2 centimeters. This ear is too big. That's where we'll start. This ear is too big. So this one is about 2 centimeters from top to bottom. This one is 3 centimeters. Too much. Oh, yeah. I don't want to make you do any extra stuff, especially if you'll be tired, but if you wanted to hang out, ready to hang out after streaming. Well, not just after streaming. I've got my hour of follow-up work to do. And then I would be up for some Friday night anime and video games. So I'll leave it up to you. Because I can imagine that once you get home and get showered, all relaxed, the idea of coming back will be like, so I won't hold it against you if you decide you don't want to come back to hang out. Alright, so now I'm going to use the ruler. It's nice when I can just draw it and not need a ruler, but the fact that I have this tool is nice. It's nice to have this available to me. Another part that's cut off in the reference image is this top ear. So I'm wondering, now that I've redrawn this other ear, I kind of want to move it out. I was happy with the difference between the amount. This ear is definitely more space. But now that I've shortened this up, this looks like too little space. Wah! Case. My eraser case wants to come with me. So I'll redraw this one too. Sometimes I can just draw these and be like, boom! Looks perfect right from the first try, but today I need to redraw some stuff. There we go. Is that too big now? Now it's too big. Blast it. How about that one? Oh, right. Because you're house sitting. Okay. Well, it's still up to you. Still up to you, but I always have a Friday night expecting that we would be hanging out, so we're almost done with My Happy Marriage anime. Okay, that's a bit better. I feel more satisfied with this. This ear. What's Kaiju number 8? Is it an anime? Anime? I feel like I've heard of that one. Oh, anime. I feel like I've heard that, actually. I don't remember anything about what it's about, though. So why, well, without spoilers, why do you say that it's good so far? What are you liking about it? Alright. I gotta redraw the whole muzzle because it's all twisted a little bit. Whoops. But at least I have these sketch lines here, so because I was happy with how big it was and everything for the chibiness. What I'm gonna do is take my ruler, nose, and I was happy with the size, just the angle I wanted to fix. So I can redraw it with the lines that are still there from that I just erased, but I can make it look more even. Oh, only a few episodes out so far. I don't know. Silly but real at times. Interesting. Huh. So is it like, even though it's like kaiju, it's... That almost makes it sound like it's slice of life, but it's... But it's kaiju is the back in the background kind of thing. I could see how that would be a silly anime without even knowing anything else about it. What service is it on? Assuming that it's streaming. Oh, okay. Well, slice of life is kind of like, it's just everyday life. It's often about kids going to school or people going to work, like adults going to work. That's often what slice of life focuses on. But there's all kinds of, there's even like fantasy ones. So it's a fantasy environment, but I'm trying to think of one. But yeah, it's just sort of like everyday life scenarios, like trying to get a job, like what you said, so. Oh. I gotcha. Hold on. I'm interested. Let me see if it's on Crunchyroll or something. You said it's called Kaiju number 8? Hold on, I gotta scroll back up. Kaiju number 8. Let me search. Kaiju number 8. Originally a manga. Yeah, but can you... Oh yeah. Nice. It's on Crunchyroll. It looks kind of... You said it's silly? The images look all so serious. But you've been liking it because it's silly. Silly but real at times. I want to ask more, but I guess I'm just gonna have to watch it because I don't want to get any spoilers for me or anyone else. Oh. So is there like a battle every episode kind of thing? Like this is like a monster of the week kind of thing, like in a literal kaiju monster sense. Oh, every other. Interesting. What kind of monsters are they? Are they... So it says kaiju, so there's like the recognizable, Gojira and stuff. Are they meant to be recalling that, even if not directly by name? Or are they like completely original to the series, like monsters you've never seen before? I need to use my ruler again. It's really tough to tell what the edge of Kenny's face is and what his body is because they're the same fur color and pattern. So it's really hard to tell if I'm drawing his face correctly. But I do think that I'm seeing what I'm seeing, which is because his head is kind of laying over the side of the chair arm. His skin is kind of flopping farther down on this side, which makes this side of the face look thinner and this side of the face look thicker compared to each other. Oh, okay. Interesting. Since it's on Crunchyroll, that makes it really easy for me to watch. I mean, I have most of the major streaming services, but some of the little, I don't know, niche ones. There's only so much budget for streaming stuff. But it's on Crunchyroll. I love that most anime is on Crunchyroll. Some might argue that that's a monopoly and that's a problem, but I'm like, this is very convenient for me as an otaku. Crunchyroll can have the whole monopoly. I am perfectly happy. They can rename themselves Crunchyopoly. So I love this. This is such a great time for otaku. This is when I was first getting into it. The main internet connection available was dial-up, and it was so hard. It took days to download episodes, and even then, the quality was so bad because it was usually ripped from a VHS tape, and so it was already like this terrible quality from the VHS tape because it was recorded from broadcast TV onto the VHS and then ripped onto the computer and then transmitted over dial-up connection like from Japan or somewhere. It's just I love the age of streaming anime. It's the best. Oh yeah, I think it's so worth it. Like if I could only have one streaming service for whatever reason, and I could literally only have one streaming service, I would get Crunchyroll. Ah, some people were annoyed. Why were they annoyed about them taking Funimation? That didn't bother me very much because the Funimation streaming app was not that great. I remember I watched, I think it was called Kami-sama Kiss. I can't remember exactly, but it was shoujo anime with like a fox god, and I think the premise is that by kissing the fox god, he becomes your familiar or something. I can't remember. But anyway, I was watching it on there, and the little preview image, just for the anime in general, was all pixelated, and it was like stretched in a weird direction. And I was like, what? Why does this even happen? So it just made just little details like that made the app seem like really subpar. And yeah, so one of your older coworkers was talking about he was younger. Ah, yeah, it'd be so nice, because Hawaii is basically in between Japan and America. That would be so nice. Crunchy had less dubbed. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, obviously, or perhaps obviously, I'm a huge subtitles, and even, like, no titles. If I'm familiar with the show, I'll purposefully turn the subtitles off so that I can just practice listening Japanese. But yeah, if you prefer dubbing, I could see how that would be a downer. But it takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of money to dub shows. Subtitles, you can just have a single person translating the episode. But with dubbing, you have to have the full cast of people. You have to have a director to help them. You have to have the translator still. You still have to have the translator. And so there's all this way more work going into it. So it makes sense why there's less dubbed anime. Right, unless Crunchyroll was like, haha, we have a monopoly, so it's going to cost $100 a month now. Unless they did something like that, I have no problem with them having the anime streaming monopoly. They don't have the monopoly anyway, though, because they've got Netflix has still got some stuff. Like, one of my favorite comedy anime is I can't remember the full title, but it's Saiki K. I totally recommend that if you've never watched it before. It's so funny. I have not met someone who didn't like Saiki K once they watched it, no matter what their normal anime preferences are. Anyway, Netflix has Saiki K. I'm so much happier with the nose now, the muzzle now that I use the ruler to get it level with the eyes and the ears. Yay! Alright. Let's finish off some little details on his nosy, on Kenny's nosy. ReZero is still your favorite anime. Lots of people. I can't remember if I've... Hold on, let me look at that. I think I might have watched that with the anime club that was here until the pandemic killed it. Which was so sad because it had been going for like over 20 years. Anyway, I feel like we might have watched some of it, but I don't think, no. Maybe they watched it. I don't think I watched this one with them. But I've heard lots of people say they love this show. I think my tutoring student, it's one of his faves too. It's so beautiful. Is the animation, well, I'm not seeing animation, I'm seeing illustrations, but the illustration style looks really pretty. Is that what you mean by beautiful, or is it like the story as well? Or the music? And I would be happy to send you some Discord recommendations. You might have to remind me, though, because I have the big laundry list of to-do things after my follow-up work, so it's like, make the YouTube short, make a Twitch clip, which was a new thing that I discovered that I ought to do, because somebody featured one of my clips when I rated them, and it was like from 2 years ago, and I was like, oh no, all these really old clips, I want my updated stuff. So yeah, you might have to remind me. Hold on a sec, I think my friend who I am drawing this for... Oh! Hi Marty! If you're watching, I think your message says that you're here. Okay. I think that means that he made it. Ah, the music and art is beautiful. Yeah, I definitely, even without watching ReZero, I recognize that artwork. Like, it's eye-catching. It's like you can just see it once and then you'll recognize it everywhere. I wonder who the music is by. I'm not as familiar with more recent composers. The My Hero Academia composer, which I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but he's the one that I most recognize these days. There are a couple that I heard all the time, but I haven't really... There are like 2 or 3, actually, that were in all kinds of anime, and they made such great music, but I have not heard their work in a while, so... Oh, okay. Okay, hi, Marty! I saw your message! Marty says he doesn't have a Twitch account, so he can't comment. The story is good, but not amazing. Is it all finished? Like, the whole story is done, or is it just like this season is done, but there's still more to come? These days I've been way more into shows that are done, like one and done. My Hero Academia is the only long-term series that I'm following, and even then I didn't get into it at first because I was like, I don't want to deal with another long series. But it was that same anime club which Marty ran. Hi, Marty! That anime club exposed me to it, and I was like, oh, and I started seeing All Might, and that's what really, I was like, who is this guy? And then I had to rewatch it from the beginning because we were watching it from the middle of season 2 at the club. Like, when I joined the club. And then, yeah, it was, let's see, what's the term? I went down the rabbit hole. My Hero Academia rabbit hole. And the new season is coming out now. There's 2 episodes out right now, and it's so good. Though it's like, we're really reaching the climax of the whole story, and it's like, I won't say anything more, though. No spoilers. Spoiler-free zone here. Oh, that's sad. You couldn't get into season 2. Well, that's alright then. If you still feel like it's your favorite, even if you couldn't get past whatever they did on season 2 that wasn't as enjoyable. Kind of reminds me, I was talking earlier this week about the Genji game, which I believe the first game came out on PlayStation 2. And it was so good. And the reason why I was talking about it on here was that I was talking about games that are too short. And that game, like, only took me 8 hours to finish or something. I was like, no, I want more. But then I was disappointed because I got more in the PlayStation 3 sequel. And it was terrible. Like, didn't even feel like the same game at all. Like, the same series. It was... like they completely missed the point and they didn't even understand what made their first game so great or something. So I understand that feeling of really liking the first of something and then being meh about the second. All right. Kenny's eyes are coming along nicely. I think I'm going to increase the size of this one just a bit. Well, right off the top of my head, Wolf, I recommend Saiki-K. If nothing else, without even knowing your preferences. It's such a funny show. I think anybody could appreciate it. And since it's funny, it's like really enjoyable to, like, some shows you have to be in the mood to watch it because it's just drama or something, you know, and if you're feeling down, don't necessarily want to watch a drama, that kind of thing. But I feel like comedy, even if you're feeling down, once you start watching it, you start feeling up. So made the pupil smaller, but now I'm questioning questioning that. So I'm just thinking about the distance between the edge of the pupil and the edge of the iris. Because on Kenny's eyes, you can see the white along this edge, the corner of this eye, and the outside edge of this eye. Yay, I think that's good. I think that's good. My Hero Academia is also an anime I recommend, but it is a long-term anime, and so a lot of people have a rule like, I'll watch the first 2 episodes, or I'll watch the first 3 episodes and see what I think, or I'll watch 1 episode and see what I think, but I feel like to really get the best impression of whether you like it or not is to watch the first 4 episodes, because that really establishes a lot of important things, and if you still don't like it after that, then I think that it's good to drop it, but it has a tiny bit of a slow start getting everything established. And if you're a Star Wars fan, it's great because there are so many Star Wars references in it. And it's not a Star Wars-y show. It's just like places are named Dagobah or whatever. Or characters look like, slightly look like other, like Star Wars characters or something. Oh, okay, you've seen the first season of My Hero. Yeah, it's getting really, really, I mean, it's been really good. There was one slow season, I think like 2 seasons ago, there was a slow one. But it wasn't terrible, and I thought that it made some good points because a lot of it talks about, well, what would society be like and what would the problems be like if everybody was, or not everybody, but if a lot of people had superpowers. And this season, the slow season I'm talking about, which I can't remember, I think it was season 5 though, but it sort of addresses a different angle of that thinking. What would society be like? What would the reaction be? What would people do? So even though it was slow, I thought it was nice to have something a little different instead of always being this super dramatic, evil mastermind bad guy, which is most of the show. Oh, hello, Marty's brother. I think your name was Andy. Thank you for watching. I have my messages from Marty up on my phone over here. So I can sort of see chat. I can see my phone chat of Facebook Messenger, and I can see the Twitch chat over here too on the screen. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of work from my imagination right here because the edge of the chair is covering up the shoulder. So I'll just use my experience drawing so many dogs. Connect the arm to the shoulder. I'm going to take this arm all the way across the other one. The wrist is even farther out than this paw that's behind. I don't know how well. Okay, good. I just realized I haven't been paying attention to this small camera here, but it looks like it's well focused, well centered. Alright, so the ankle kind of, I don't know if you call it ankle or wrist. Anyway, it kind of comes up. Bit of an angle, and then comes down like that. And then this line continues on. It's a gentle curve. And then you can see the paws starting, or the fingers the finger part of the paw. How far does the paw go? The toes, that's what I'm trying to think. The toes. So there's the start of the toes. And it looks like Kenny has dew claws. I think I'm seeing one. And I think I'm seeing one up here. So I'm going to add that. And then the rest of the toes. They're not in the photo, so I'm just going to, once again, use my imagination, my experience drawing chibi dogs to get the toes in there. And the little nails. I think this paw should come, this toe should come out a little farther. I'll leave that out in case I want it. Okay. Actually, maybe I could look at Aoife's foot. Yes, like something like this. She got up a little bit. She was like, "You need something?" And let's shorten these toes up now that I'm looking at it. And we can clean up some of the sketch lines too. All right, sweet. My lead is doing that thing that it does when it's at the end. You know, you click the pencil to make it come out, but then as soon as you start drawing, it goes back in. Come on out. New piece of lead. There we go. I put this tiny one in the trash. Okay. No, not this one too. This one's also broken. It's even shorter. The heck? Okay. Putting that back. Alright, are you going to work for me? Okay. I think it's going to work this time. There we go. I think that's better. But now, blast it. I've done so many sketchy lines, I can't tell what I meant to do over here. So we're going to redraw this part and try not to get too much graphite on it this time. Let me see your paw. It's Chappie's paw. So basically what I'm seeing is that it comes straight out and then it curves down. I can kind of see that from this paw too. So the toe comes straight out and then there's a curve down. There's that paw pad. Claw. Okay. Let's do this again. Claw. Yeah. Toe, curves down, and a claw. Toe, and a claw. Oh, so much better. Yay. Oh, it's getting close to break time. 5 minutes until break time. All right, so we've got front arm done. I'm making it a little bit more muscular. I'm seeing more muscle than what I drew. So maybe we'll even bulk up this side a little bit too. I feel like just as much as any facial features, being able to capture the musculature helps make the chibi caricatures feel accurate to whoever they are a portrait of. So that's why I try to get these little dips and curves and bulges correctly rendered, or at least as close as I can, while also chibifying it. Chibification. That's my word. I made that word up myself. I've never heard anybody else say that. Chibify. Chibify the puppy. Alright, I'm gonna keep trying. I'm not quite getting this edge how I want. It's so subtle. I could just draw a round line and call it good. But like I said, I like to get the details right. So it comes down like this and then angles in a little bit and then comes down like that. Something like that. Alright, I think that's good. Oh, and then this, I see why I'm a little bit confused. This line needs to come over to the side. Something like that. There we go. Yay. Perfecting more lines here. Okay, let's move on to the back foot. We can see just a little bit of the leg, but it's mostly just the long part of the foot and the toes. So this is the heel right here. So there's that angle there for the heel. And top part. Although it's the bottom part. Because it's down on the chair. For some reason, to me, it looks like the top part right now. Okay, and then the toes, and they're curving. They're relaxed, so they're curving a little bit like this. And he has lots of spots on this foot, so it's kind of hard to see what is spots and what is the lines of shadow between the toes, but I think I got it. And clean it up a little bit right here at the bottom. Oh, it's break time. Well, perfect timing because I just got this foot done. All right, I'm going to leave this right here and put my little, yes, that's it, wolf, Psyche K. Marty knows too. Marty is the one who introduced me to Psyche K, so I recommend it. I'm gonna put my be right back sign here and go take a nice little 5-minute break to walk around and stretch and all that nice stuff. I hope everybody else will do the same. Be back in a bit. Hello everyone, I'm back. I hope you had all a great break. I had a great break. So nice to stretch my back out. Also to just get up and refresh my eyes, looking at something else in a different kind of lighting. It really does make a difference to do that, to give your brain a break. Okay, so I was working on the foot, so we're going to work on the tail next. And actually the tail, I already sketched it. I'm already happy with how it looks. Because I just got to reinforce what it looks like. Oh, my puppies are coming in. Here's Ipa. Oh, Chappie decided not to come in. Okay. Oh, so that's what he is back to. Hello! Hope you had a great shower. All refreshed. Clean and refreshed. Did you get too tired to come back over the 1 kilometer away that you are? Okay. So, the only thing I'm seeing now that I want to change a little bit, I think, is how big the difference, or let me explain this better. The amount of space between the edge of the nose and the edge of the face. This side should be shorter than this side because the face is angled just a bit. But it seems a little too small, especially compared to this little bit of lip. It's kind of a wrinkle right here. This should be sticking out beyond that, so I'm just going to take it out just a little bit. Okay. I'll see you when you get here. Just gonna hang out with me on the Twitch until then. That would be great. It's so nice. I feel like it's been quite a while since we've had a relatively large group here on my stream. Oh, hold on. I hear Chappie's little happy feet trotting down, but she'll never open the door on her own. Come here. Good girl. She'll walk up to the door, and even though I don't latch the door, she won't push on it or knock her little foot on it or anything, so I just have to be listening for her little tip-tap of her claws on the floor so I can let her in. Otherwise, she'll walk slowly away. I'm saying, I'm just imagine this dog walking away if I don't get there fast enough. Okay, I'm going to clean up some of these sketching lines. I think I might be ready to ink, though. Cleaning up the sketching lines helps me determine that, because then I can better see what I'm keeping and what I might be missing. Understood. It's still your relaxed time right now. Alright, I erased so much that instead of picking it up with the eraser, I'm just going to get my swipey brush, that's my name for it, and swipe it into the trash can. I mean, I always put these eraser bits into the trash can, but I'm swiping it directly from the image into the trash. Ah, there's a couple stuck on here. Oh, there we go. Okay. There, it's nice and clear so we can see. Kenny does have a lot of markings on his fur, but I'll definitely be adding those using the marker and colored pencil. What I'm looking for now is anything else that I want to do with line art with the ink. I guess the edge here where the fur is growing in his ear, and then you can see the pink part on the inside, that's something that I want to ink. And it seems to come straight across like this. And there's little hairs here and grows up in the corner like that. Something like that. And then the ear is flopping over here. So these are two separate lines. Hopefully I remember that. So it's not the end of the world if I don't, but this kind of detail is why I love to use a reference image, because nature is a better artist than me. Nature is more creative than me. I was saying so often yesterday, there were so many things that I just wouldn't have thought to include in my illustration that I was working on if I wasn't looking at reference images to be like, oh, so that's how it works. All right, I think this ear is good. Let's take a look at this one. I already did some. It's a lot harder to see because this side of, excuse me, I'm stumbling over my own words. This side of the head is more in shadow, so the inside of the ear is less well lit than this one. But you can see a little bit of pink. It's actually, oh, it's almost a heart shape. I'll make it a little heart shape because that's cute. All right. Okay, now I do see a little bit, oh, but it's so subtle, I don't know. It might be better to keep it off for the Chibi. I can see a little bit of definition around the eyes here. Maybe I'll just do a tiny touch. As I do with my Chibis, like to sort of marry realistic, like realism and stylism. I don't know what the term is for that. Stylized. I like to stylize realism. I think that's a good way to describe it. But that means that I have to choose how far do I go in one direction or the other. And so, yeah, even as I say that, I think it's too much for a Chibi to add that many lines. It's taking away from the cute Chibiness. So we'll just have a little bit. It was flat here, so we'll just have this little indent here. Oh, and I'm gonna make this bigger because it'll be cuter like that. Yeah, caricature. Caricature. So based on reality, but not necessarily photorealistic. Based on a photo, not photorealistic. A little piece of eraser bit. Okay. Let me see about the distance. This is about 1/2 centimeter, give or take. All right, it is about the same. The distance between the edge of the pupil and the edge of the iris. So excellent. Excellent. Oh, it's looking real cute. And we have a slightly different eye shape on each side. I'm actually going to change this one a tiny bit. Because of the way the face is angled slightly this way, we're seeing more of this inside part of the right eye, our right. And then this side is obscured a little bit by the bridge of the nose. good for the graphite, for the base sketch. I'll leave these out in case I need them. But I'm done with my pencil. Now I want my inking pens. Yay! So I'm using my usual set of Sakura Pigma, which includes 6 sizes of the micron, 1 PN, and 2 graphic sizes, and that's from small to big. And the first thing I'll do is my favorite thing, outline with the graphic one big outline over the whole drawing. I like to do that with these pieces where I don't have a background or an environment for them to be in. They kind of look like they're their own thing, like a sticker or something like that. So I'll start with that. I used to do this after I was done inking everything else. But recently I've realized it's a lot easier if I just do it first and then I can add the other lines on top of it instead of trying to ink over lines that have already been inked and trying to make it match. Then it saves me a little bit of time too, because I used to ink the whole drawing and then add the outline, so that meant I was drawing the same lines multiple times around the outside. Now I don't have to do that. And this little part in between the legs gets an outline. Alright, what I'm going to do is flip this, because the clip's going to be in the way. Just this last ear left. Last ear makes it sound like there's multiple ears. There's only 2. But it's not wrong. It is the last ear, the last of 2. Boop. Alright, outline done. Yay! I have this PN. I never use it. I don't have a reference for what the size is compared to the others. 'Cause I'm not actually sure what the point is for this. Other than PN stands for plastic nail. Hold on. I'm interested. What is the point? Sakura Pigma. PN. Is it just... I wonder if it's just because the other ones, I think, are felt tip, so maybe it was just so that it's a stronger nib. Oh, here it is on Jet Pens. Jet Pens always has really good descriptions of stuff. 0.5 millimeter, not 0.5, 0.45, 0.45. What's this one? Oh, it's half the size of this one. What is it compared to the 8? I didn't buy this one, by the way. It came in an Art Snacks box. That's why I have this mystery pen that I don't know, 0.5. It's actually smaller than the 8. Interesting. What's the 5? Ah, apparently it's the same size as the 5. So now I really don't know what the point is. What's the point of this? Okay, I'm going in here to this description. This is what Jet Pens has to say about it. Enjoy practicality and performance in one little pen. Pigment microns are a favorite for making detailed drawings and craft work. Its versatile tip works well for artists, writers, and illustrators alike. Best of all, the patented smooth-flowing Pigma pigment ink is reliable, permanent, acid-free, and archival quality. Perfect for everyday writing and sketching, this PN pen has a durable plastic nib that creates a skip-free line or medium line, 0.4 to 0.5 millimeters wide, depending on your writing pressure. Interesting. So, perfect for everyday writing and sketching. Durable plastic nib. I guess it must be what I said, what I was assuming. Since it's called a PN for plastic nib, it's just that it's more durable than the felt tip or whatever these ones are. I'll show you the difference between these. So apparently these are the same size unless you write harder. But camera, you want to work with me? No? Dang, camera doesn't like to focus when I really want it to. There we go. Alright, here's the difference. They're apparently the same size, but it's a very different nib on each one. And it is the one on the left there, that's the more standard, familiar one to me. But if you write too hard with it, that little black tip will go straight into the metal collar, and you'll never be able to get it back out. So with the PN, I think that's less likely. So if you're doing a lot of writing or something, I imagine that's what it's good for. But now I don't know what I'm gonna... I just have it in here with the collection of other stuff. Now I know it's about the same size as a 5. Anyway, so I'll just skip the PN. I'll just use what I know what it does. Go to the size 8, which is half the size of the graphic that I just used. And start drawing some other lines. So the next biggest lines I want is the head, because it's so big and so far away from the body. I want it to have a nice big line to help show the differences, not right next to the body. And something I learned from, I think, one of my How to Draw manga books was don't be afraid to go over the lines over and over in order to refine them. So what I'm doing as well is connecting this larger line to the smaller line so that it has a nice taper from large size to big size instead of a sudden drop. Oh, thank you. Dang camera, sometimes the camera wants to work with me, other times I have to do it manually every single time. Thank you, Marty. Marty messaged me to tell me to focus my camera. Blast it! I was so distracted by figuring out what the heck the PN nib is good for. Maybe I'll just take that PN out and use it for writing letters. Because I really don't need it for... Now that I know that there's not some special secret thing that I wasn't aware of. Alright, something else that I like to add. If lines are overlapping one another because... So here we have the muzzle is closer in space to the viewer than this side of the face. Then the thing that's farther away, I'll increase the size of the line just a little bit where it meets that other thing. I don't know exactly why, but it helps me feel like that gives it that sense of it's behind. It's not connecting directly to, it's actually behind it. It's bugging me. I'm taking this PN out. Taking it out. I'm putting it in my little slot for writing pens. There. I feel better now. Okay. Continuing inking. Let's see. This 8 is actually a really nice size. I think I shall finish the body with this size of pen too. And then I will move to a smaller pen for the details. I might do the outsides of the eyes. Oh, and the inside too. Why not? Now I'll do the eyes and the rest of the body with this size 8. I think my Aoife dog is having a eating dream. She's got her two hands like this, and her head is laying on top, and her mouth is going. She has eating dreams all the time. That's it for the body, I think. Oh wait, there's this little line here where the foot is twisting, and you can see a little bit of definition of the, I'm not sure what it is, muscle or bone or something. Anyway, I want that line in there. Oh, there's a little bit of stuff like, maybe I'll use a smaller pen for that though. Okay, let's go to the eyes. Eyes next. You know what? No, we're gonna go back to the one for the eyes, because pretty much all dogs have this dark black skin around their eyes. And so it's like they all have black eyeliner. So let's use the big wide one. I never use this 2. I'll show you why. Because it's a chisel. It's a chisel tip instead of a bullet tip. So I rarely have a need for chisel marks. Yay! We reached our goal! Yay! Thank you so much! 10 pounds to Vegan Society! Yay! Wolf, you're the best! That's 2 months in a row! Thank you, thank you! Oh, I'm so glad! Thank you very much! I hope that we can also beat the unique viewers count this month. I mean, I doubt we'll get more viewers than the $10 donation minimum that I have that I make, but that just, that made my day. made me think of other things that would be super sweet this month in streaming. Thank you so much for making that donation. I really appreciate it. Thank you for helping the animals. Also, Satoisa's having donuts. Hey, that's great. I can't really show it very well. Donut. I'm wearing my donut shirt. I want to tell you to bring me donuts, but don't bring me donuts because I'm going to have a yummy ice cream bar for dessert. I already planned it. Oh, you don't have any donuts. Why did you mention donuts? Why? Bringing to mind the delicious donuts. I'm wearing my donut shirt. Okay. Let's see. Do I want to ink the eye, not the eyes, the pupils now, or wait until after I erase? Because when you erase, it erases some of the ink away too. Okay, I will fill them in now. Fill them in now. Oh, maybe I'll use that chisel tip. I was just saying I have no need for it, and then I thought of one. Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. Aoife is dreaming of donuts. Okay. It was her estimated birthday yesterday, so she got a tasty, it's these breathbone treats. So they're these really big, well, for treats, they're really big, bone-shaped, chewy treat. So maybe she was dreaming of that. Oh, this Boo-Boo Yuki, so cute. It's gonna look so cute at the very end when I add the highlights onto the eyes. That's always the best part, at the very end when you put the highlights on. Now I'm just making the pupils a little more round. quite as round as I would like. Call that good. If I need to add some more after I'm done erasing, then I'll do so then. Right, I want to go down to, although, I'll use a size 8 for the outline of the iris, because what I'm looking at are these lovely chocolate brown eyes, but the outside rim of the iris is very, very dark, so we'll use a thicker black line for that. Okay, I'm going to use the same pen for the nosy. And the nose has that nice texture that all dog nosies have, so I've done a little, not just a solid line, a little bit of stippling along the line too to help indicate that. I think I want to go even smaller for all this fur. Yeah, let's go to the size 5 for the rest of the lines. So first let's get all these, I don't know if you're hearing that like slurping sound. Chappie's licking herself, so that's what that is. Like a snorting, slurping sound. And this little muscle here. Back toes. Alright, now time for the fuzzies on the ears. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I want it this way. So I like to turn the page so that I can do this motion, which is the most comfortable way. So but then I also have to keep, this gets in the way of my hand, this clip here on the clipboard. So that's why I not only move this around, sometimes I move the page around on the clipboard. This way. Chappie, are you hacking on the ground now? Alright, girl. She's just laying there and then like hacking up a hairball. Trying to figure out which way I want to turn this. Okay, there we go. And we do see the edge of the head all the way on both sides, so I'm going to add little fuzzy furs right there and there. Awesome, let's erase. What time is it? I've got 25 minutes. So we should actually be able to get started on some markers today too. Watch, I'll find plenty of ink work to do when we don't get started on the markers. That happens to be so often recently. Yeah, we have plenty of time. I don't get anywhere near where I thought I would. I'm erasing not just the area where I drew, but the white spaces around the edges, because I often get graphite on the side of my hand as I'm doing all this sketching. So, well, to clean the whole page, I just dragged the eraser. I'm using a sticky, kneaded eraser, so it's really good for that kind of subtle cleanup work. Okay. I think that's good for the kneaded eraser, but for more detailed erasing, I don't know, let's do it this way. I'm going to use one of my plastic erasers. These areas, especially where I redrew a lot, probably need some extra attention. I think I've gotten everything, but I want to swipe everything off and take one last look, or maybe the last look. Did I get everything? Nope, there's a little leftover piece. It's the one thing. It's like a double-edged knife or whatever you'd call it. These Japanese style plastic erasers are really great because they stick to themselves so that it's easy to like pick them up, or they don't become like 1,000 little pieces. It's just a few little pieces, but that also means sometimes they stick to the paper too. So even with my swipey brush, I have to use my finger, but happily there weren't too many of those to get off. And now I'm just looking. I'm going to hold it really close. It's not going to be on stream for a second. I'll hold it really close to my face. Oh, yep, there's a little area here at the bottom of the nose. Get a little bit more graphite off. As I always say when I'm doing this kind of work, if you don't get the graphite off now, once you put the markers on, it's stuck there. And I learned that the hard way. So that's why I'm always really meticulous about erasing. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to ruin your drawing and make it like so that you have to completely start over from scratch or anything, but I prefer not to have marks that I didn't intend. Unless what I intended was to create marks that were spontaneous, you know. But if it's just because, oh, I didn't notice that, that's different. Whoops. That wanted to come with me. No, you're not coming with me yet. Okay, time to swipe off the eraser bits. Get them all. Okay, I think I got them all this time. And I think do one last look, but I think I'm done erasing. There are some marks that are they're just not coming off. Like this foot where I really went too crazy. Happily on the camera you can barely tell. But when I'm looking at it with my naked eye, I'm like, oh, I can still see where I sketched too vehemently, and it's like permanently on the paper now. But that should be easily camouflaged by the pattern on the coat, on Kenny's coat here. So, oh, looks like my screen is out of focus again. Aha, notice on my own this time. Dang camera. I don't understand why sometimes it's like boom and it autofocuses up, but autofocuses down. Beep, 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 all stream, it's perfect. And then there's days like today where it's like, it's like it's not paying attention. Like there's little camera elves inside operating the autofocus. So now I'm going to take an even smaller pen. Right now I have my 01. It's the second to smallest. And I'm going to do some final ink details. Tapering the lines where larger meets smaller, or where something is overlapping another thing. Maybe adding some hatching if I see any good points to add hatching. Ooh, we can add some ink. I'm gonna get this 05 back out. Add ink here in the nostrils. Because the nostrils and the pupils are both just holes in the face, basically. So, I mean, the pupil has a film over it, the eyeball film, but that's why I use the black ink instead of using a lighter marker color or something like that. Let's see, where else? Oh, this back foot, use a little bit more ink right here. I already got a lot of the lines really nicely tapered. Here we could thicken up this line to help it show that it's a lot farther forward than the foot, the back foot that's right next to it. Because on the page, they're literally next to each other. But in space, in the imaginary world we're now creating on this page, this is a lot farther back than this shoulder muscle. The same idea, I'm going to add a little thickness to this part of the face. So we'll get the 08 out. So the head is gigantic, the most close thing to the viewer. So put some distance between that and the body with a thicker line. Let's do a little hatching in the eyes. What I'm seeing, let me zoom in. Marty, I don't think you were here when I was complimenting this image. Whoever took this image did a great job, this reference image of Kenny, because the face is so well lit and the eyes, I can really see the details. So good job, whoever took this photo. So what I'm seeing is a little bit of a ring, like, oh, so subtle, but just a little tiny bit around the pupil. So I'm going to add little touches of ink, like a halo in the pupil. Or not the pupil, in the iris. Around the pupil in the iris. Something else I'm going to do, because I realize now that I'm working on this, I made this pupil a little bit too big for the iris, so I'm just going to go ahead and put some ink to be the shadow from the eyelid. And that'll help it look more appropriately sized. Let's do a little hatching too. Oh, Aoife just announced herself. She's had an infection in her paw, so she's been having to take antibiotics, and whenever she has to take antibiotics, she becomes the gassiest dog ever. So that's what that's about. Alright, I'm also going to look closely at the nosy here. We've got that nice nose texture, so I'm going to put some stippling with ink to help bring that out. But I'm just going to do it on the most shaded areas. Then that way the stippling also works as a sort of shading. Else? Anywhere else I want to add ink? So I can zoom out of the reference image. Cute. Marty says his cat Lulu, who I chibified last year, is watching now too. Hello, Lulu. You can give her a little scritch scratch from me. Cute. I'm seeing that the bottom lip also has this similar kind of texture. So we'll add a little bit of stippling on here for texture and shading. There is some stuff I could do around the eyes, but I think I'll just wait and do that with marker. So I'm once again at the point where I'm deciding, well, what do I want to do with marker and what do I want to do with ink first? We put some hatching in the eyes. Let's put some hatching in the ears where it's folded over. That'll help give depth to the ears even without adding any color. And that's something I like to do if I can, because then it just makes the whole image look more robust by the end. If the inked lines can already stand on their own without any color, then just makes the color even more powerful once it's applied. I think everywhere else the shading is more subtle. Because overall the lighting on this scene is, it's just like the illustration I was working on this week. It's a very diffuse light. There's not that many really strong shadows, so mostly just in the ears, where the ears are folding over each other, so that instantly creates, like, even you can see in my hand, creates this like dark shadow inside of there. So another thing I could do, so Kenny has all the whiskers that I can really see. It looks like there's some black ones, and there's the ones that are really standing out are white. But we're on a black background, so let's just do a few little puppy whiskers in black ink. Not too long because they're dog whiskers. I'm seeing a couple crossing over here. There's also one coming out from under the eye here. Where else? There's a few on this side. Well, it looks like I smudged a little ink or something here. Hold on, let me see if I can clean that up. Oh, good. Yay! I love it when I can clean it with the eraser. Sometimes I can't, and I just have to camouflage it with the markers and stuff. I've never had something that I couldn't save somehow when I made a mark that I didn't intend. But it is always nice when it's a quick fix and I not have to be like, okay, time to get creative. This is the whole point of creativity. Not that I don't like getting creative, but I'm already setting myself all of these tasks to do being creative, so then suddenly being thrown a curveball. Sometimes it's tough. Alright, I've got them coming out of the sides, but they're also coming around closer to the nose, so let's add a few more here, so that it doesn't look like they're just somehow magically only growing out of the sides of the face. But this is a puppy, not a kitty, so we don't want to do too many. I think this is actually enough. And so we got 3 small ones near the nose and then 1 each higher up on the face. I think that's good. Only 7 minutes left. But I think I'm done with inking, so I guess we'll just start with first bit of marker. Why not? Alright, put my pens back, put my eraser off to the side. Erasers, actually, I have 3 erasers out. So first thing I need is my swatch book. I've been sitting all crazy today, and I have my one-piece blanket on my chair, and it's all crazy. I had to flatten it out. It was all smushed up. So I have my little one-piece lap blanket sitting on my chair. So it's a mesh chair, which is nice because it's cool, but then I put the blanket on it anyway because the mesh is so uncomfortable. It's sad. Because I got this chair because it supports my back well. But then the mesh is a problem. I just can't win. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is gray as the base color. So I'm seeing mostly like white fur, brown spots, sort of black, dark brown spots, and then brindle patches. So as always, I'll work from light to dark. And since we have so much brown, I think that doing either a warm gray or the toner gray, these are the warmer of the 4 grays available in my marker set. Either warm gray or toner gray. I also tend to err on the side of warm gray for pets' fur, just because the warmer color seems more warm. Like when we physically feel our pets, they are warm and lovely. Like temperature, they are warm. So choosing the warm color, I feel like, helps visually represent that. So yeah, let's do that. I'm going to do the entire body. We'll start with W0. So that is, it's not the lightest warm gray, but it's the lightest warm gray that I have. we'll start with that and just do the entire body. This will be the base color for everything else. I mean, I won't put it in the eyes, obviously, but everything that's fur is going to have the base of warm gray. And since it's such a big area, I'm going to use the larger chisel tip, so it'll cover faster, and I'm actually not that worried about not coloring in other areas, which is a reason why I might choose the smaller tip. Since almost everything is going to have this as the base color, I can just work quickly with the large tip. I have to be careful though, because even when the ink has been drying for a week, sometimes it can still, what's the term? It can still get smudged by the marker. And I don't care how marker proof the marker says it is, it will happen. I've tried so many. These Sakura Pigma pens work really well with marker, but especially around areas like this pupils here where it's a huge patch of ink. So anyway, I'm just trying not to swipe too hard across thicker lines of ink. Just swipe into them or against them, but not like across them. Sometimes it pulls the ink, and I don't want it. I don't want it to do that. Alright, got everything. Now, here's a spot where I really got to work fast. The head. The reason I'm working fast is because I don't want any unintended lines to appear, which happen when dry meets wet, and since it's alcohol markers, they dry very fast. So that's another reason to use a chisel tip if you don't have some teeny tiny area that you need to get into, because chisel tip can cover more area faster. The nosy I was talking about with the big patches of ink. I don't just want to swipe it across the nose because I might smudge the ink in the nostrils there. Hey, not bad. There's a little bit of lines, but there's also this big brindle patch right here, so that will mask this line, and then there's all these little spots and stuff here, so that'll mask this line, so not bad. Yay. Well, I think that we should call it good there because now there's less than a minute. Oh, Exie, thank you. Thank you. Perfect timing, because I am going to just hold this up, see if my camera wants to cooperate. No? Camera, why are you temperamental? Alright, here's the close-up on Kenny after 2 hours of work. Chibi Kenny. We got the ink done. This is actually really much faster. Thanks to the reference image. It doesn't hardly have any body in it. Save me a little time. Usually, at best, I can get the ink done in a single session. Get the undersketch and the ink done. Nope. The camera just does not want to autofocus today. Okay, there we go. There he is, Kenny! Yay! So we'll continue next week, next Friday, with more marker and probably get it done in 2 sessions based on how fast this one went. Yay! Let's see the little happy ranger in the chat. Alright. Let me put this... Okay, I've got to move some stuff. Stream time is over. It's time to raid somebody. So I'm going to move this over to the side. And then Chibi Kenny can still be in the little camera. But this way I can get my lovely keyboard out. This is the best. I'm so glad I spent my birthday money on this wireless keyboard and mouse. It's awesome. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining me. Always so happy to stream with folks. It makes it so fun. I'm so energized and motivated when I've got somebody with me. Wait, I need to figure out who the heck... I got ready to type in raid, and then I was like, wait a minute. Who? Okay. Getting on Twitch on my phone to see who's on here. Oh. Well, let's see. We have not rated Cheers Steph today. Oh, it says birthday stream. I wonder if it's her birthday. Let's raid Cheers Steph. /raid/raid. Cheers Steph. Let me make sure I spelled that right. 2 S's. Yep. Sweet. Okay. Boom. The raid has been started. Yay! Alright, while the countdown goes, I want to thank everybody for joining me today and making it an awesome Friday. Kick off my weekend the right way. I'll be back next week on Wednesday with more illustration work, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday like usual. The raid is ready, so let's go! Alright, the raid worked. So if you're still on my channel, or if you're watching the recording later, like I said, that's it for me today. I'll be back on Wednesday. I hope to see you then. Thank you for watching.